friends, and welcome to the Mad Hatter Tea Party, where everything is madness, except for I'm probably the only thing that will make sense in this world right now. Today we're going to talk about the $400 million bribe that Trump just took from Qatar. And yes, I know it's pronounced Qatar, which a lot of Americans like to say Qatar, but I'm neither going to say Qatar or Qatar because I'm not insufferable. Qatar just gave Trump a $400 million plane. And a lot of people have questions about this, considering the fact that Congress is not even allowed to accept gifts more than $25 because it could be considered a bribe. So the president taking $400 million from a Middle Eastern country that we've had weird relationships with is questionable, especially since Trump said this.
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level. And in the wake of that conference, nations came together and spoke to me about confronting Qatar over its behavior. So we had a decision to make. Do we take the easy road, or do we finally take a hard but necessary action? We have to stop the funding of terrorism.
But now the president has no problem accepting a $400 million plane. He says that Air Force One has 40-year-old planes, which I wasn't even aware of. I thought that Air Force One had the state-of-the-art planes, but apparently our planes in the Air Force One are yards behind what Qatar is giving the president. By the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all those fun things in the comments, because that matters. But when a reporter from ABC asked President Trump if this could be considered a bribe, the president said this.
Gift to you. Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
Only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear him? He won 82 tournaments.
But what could Qatar be bribing the president with? Let's think about it. President Biden and a couple presidents before that have been in talks with Israel to create a two-party system. In fact, Nixon tried to have some sort of a treaty between Saudi Arabia and Israel so that there would be peace, and also they were in talks for a two-state system between Palestine and Israel, like making sure that both parties could have their own territories. Israel seemed like they were going to play nice, but ultimately it became pretty clear that we are not going to have a two-state system if Israel is involved, which Israel will have to be involved. They're just not interested in letting the Palestinians exist at all, and it's becoming abundantly clear. If Israel, our ally, is not okay with Middle Eastern countries existing and is invading Lebanon, is invading Syria, is invading Palestine, they're creating a lot of enemies. And since we are their allies, that means there are enemies too. And we don't want that smoke with the Middle East. We do not want to be at war with the Middle East. The New York Times just came out with an article that said Israel is not our ally, and they are acting in exact opposition to what an ally should do. Your friends shouldn't be leading you into battle for no reason when you're trying to create peace, right? Now, while this New York Times article was an opinion piece, it did state some facts, considering that Nixon was trying to put together a peace treaty. Saudi Arabia was all in for this peace treaty, and then Israel was like, no, we're not going to play nice. So America was like, okay, Saudi, they kind of pulled out the rug from underneath us, so I don't really think that it's fair for us to force you into playing nice with them if they're not going to play nice with you. So Saudi's like, bet, we're not going to play nice. Now Israel is all but freaking out in their media, reporting that Trump is actually meeting with the president of Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon in Saudi Arabia. And Israel is not invited. Israel's like, wait, you're supposed to be our ally. Why are you talking to the enemy? But that's the thing. Qatar just gave Trump a $400 million plane for him to use until he exits office, and then that plane is going to be continued to be used by the presidents thereafter. This is a really nice plane. Not only is it shiny and new and just for the president to use, but inside looks exactly like Trump likes things. Gold everywhere. There's a staircase in this freaking plane. Everything is beautiful, everything is brand new, everything's shiny, everything is state of the art, and everything is the highest quality. That is exactly what Trump likes. Trump loves shiny things, and he's very easily manipulated. I think a lot of people think that Trump is evil. I don't think he's evil. I think he lacks empathy. That's number one, which you could say is evil, but on top of lacking empathy, I think the most thing that Trump is manipulated a lot. I think he's very easily manipulated, and I think he's a little bit slow to know that he's being manipulated, which is a huge problem. But world leaders who are evil will use that to their advantage. If everyone remembers the last time he met with Putin, he was BFFs with that man. How are you BFFs with Putin? And then he met Kim Jong-un from North Korea, and he spoke highly of him. Then he met with Netanyahu, and he speaks highly of him too. All it takes for President Trump to like you is a one-on-one meeting where Trump really feels like he's having a heart-to-heart with you, and then he'll come to bat with you if he can, which he can because he is the leader of the free world right now. So Qatar was like, bet, $400 million plane, let's chat in Saudi Arabia. And Trump was like, okay. The Arab world is rich in resources, rich in riches, and so are these presidents. These presidents of these countries are going to show up and show out. They're going to make Trump feel so comfortable, so welcome, so happy, so accepted that Trump is bound to listen to every single thing that these countries want him to hear and want to negotiate and want to talk about. The Arab world in general, when you go to an Arab family, they're very welcoming. They make sure that you're fed. They will not stop feeding you. In fact, they will force you to eat, and if you don't take their money, they will slap you. That is how Arab families are. That's how the Arab world is. Trump is going to feel like a pretty little princess on a Sunday morning. Israel might have treated him well, but he will not be treated as well as Arab presidents will treat him. And they have lavish lifestyles. It's all perfectly concocted so that Trump will agree to probably whatever they say. So now Trump is in a major dilemma. It's pretty clear that Netanyahu has been using him and speaking in one ear like the little devil. I actually showed a spot the difference between the little baby devil at Christ's crucifixion in that one movie, Passion of the Christ, and Netanyahu. I want you guys to see.
Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places.
Literally spot the difference. There's like, it looks the same. They look the same. They literally have this same expression on their face. But I digress. Trump is now in a moral dilemma. Should we keep listening to the little snake talking in our ear? Or should we, I don't know, give these nice wealthy guys a chance, and they're making me feel great, and they just gave me a $400 million plane, and my own country's not even giving me an updated plane, so maybe we should talk to them. That's exactly what's happening right now. Trump was bribed, and no one can do anything about it. But honestly, is the bribe that bad? Is it that bad? I mean, bribes are bad, but... Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Definitely like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know maybe something else that you want me to talk about, because there is always crazy news every single day. We're just getting through this together. Anyways, that's it for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!